Welcome back to this second episode. It's me and Dr. 𝐏𝐸𝐸 here today. Today we'll be talking about the management of pruning in vineyard training systems. For the first question, let's talk about the types of pruning and how they influence vine training.
Yes, it is true that the vine is a highly phototropic plant. This essentially means it is genetically predisposed to climb up tall trees and rise far above the dense forest canopy. It does this specifically in order to capture as much sunlight as possible and effectively carry out the vital process of photosynthesis. It is quite apparent that adapting this specific type of plant for commercial grape production is a deliberate innovation developed by human intervention. And the complex training systems and pruning methods are meticulously designed and implemented to carefully rebalance what the plant is inherently inclined to perform when growing in the wild.
What are the ideal training systems for optimal grape production?
So, as we have previously mentioned earlier in our discussion, the specific training system and various pruning methods are carefully used to adapt the vine to the specific needs that may arise from factors such as environmental opportunities or complex pedoclimatic conditioning. Furthermore, these techniques are essential to effectively balance the delicate relationship between the overall quantity of the harvest and the final quality of the fruit produced. It is quite evident that the mechanized management of vineyard cultivation operations significantly impacts and shapes the training system, just as the specific soil and climatic environmental conditions influence the chosen training system 𝐒𝐲𝐸. Finally, the maximum potential quality of the grapes obtained, which depends heavily on the specific enological result we want to achieve, also serves as a fundamental and decisive factor in the process.
So, in relation to the previous question, what are the most commonly used training systems?
Regarding mechanization, the most suitable and efficient training systems for successfully carrying out these specific operations with modern machines are the spur-pruned cordon, the CDC system, and the versatile pendulous curtain. These are specialized agricultural training systems that allow the canopy to be efficiently managed through mechanical means, thereby significantly reducing the need for frequent manual interventions. When we consider the specific pedoclimatic conditions of a region, for example, we can certainly mention that in extremely dry and notably windy areas, such as the Mediterranean islands or the sun-drenched regions in southern Italy, it is often much more preferable to utilize less expansive vine training systems. For instance, one might choose the traditional albarello method or other similar low-growing vine training forms, which are specifically designed to help minimize overall transpiration loss and, above all else, serve to protect the delicate vines from the harsh effects of excessive drought and heat. As for the system used to balance the quantity of grapes according to their quality, specifically trellises such as 𝐒𝐲, double 𝐒𝐲, or silvos are used, especially where there are conditions of extremely fertile soil. One last condition that is leading to renewed consideration of the pergola system is the fact that UV solar radiation is starting to cause sunburn problems on the grape clusters. Therefore, having a pergola that protects the clusters from solar radiation can be beneficial, not to mention the advantage of keeping the clusters away from the ground to prevent predation by wildlife.
As a final question, let's talk about the ideal timing for performing winter pruning.
Yes, winter pruning is carried out in winter when the plant is in vegetative dormancy and there is no sap circulation. However, in the most recent and passing years, it has become more and more critically important for everyone to postpone it until the very last moment, right before the arrival of spring. Why? Because by delaying pruning actions, that is, cutting the plant's shoots, you tend to postpone bud break by a few days. This is useful because in recent years, we have been experiencing late frosts more and more frequently. So, if the plant can bud a few days later, it sometimes protects us from these events, which unfortunately are becoming increasingly common in recent years.
Okay, that's all for today for this new episode. We thank Dr. 𝐏𝐸𝐸 and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.